I got plenty of people watching. It's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Is this live right now?
That one's not. No.
I put this on the podium.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I know. I almost like got flat.
It's fine all morning.
Did you turn your switch or you can keep also?
Cause I'm not restarting this again.
Yeah, I didn't have any.
Hey, it's just interesting. Are you using the live view on your phone? Yeah. Can you hook up Monique's phone to the live view because mine is freaking out and it's not working?
I've got
Mm-hmm. I'm still working on mine, but it's just, I've restarted it and it's not working.
I know this guy.
Five, four, two, eight? Yeah. Yeah. Your address now? Yeah, she's up, I'm like,
I gave it our number, so it's not my fault. So, alright, cool, thanks.
just lie. But I'm. Okay, and then I just restarted the live view. Now it's got my picture, which is part of the problem. But if it comes online, we can start mine, but if it doesn't come online.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta hang up. Let's see, they're coming by.
Everybody set? All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Fond du Lac County Sheriff Ryan Walshman, and alongside me today are Lieutenant of Detectives Chris Randall, Detective Nate Lamont, and Detective Ryan Murphy. We're here today to provide you with an update on our Fond du Lac County Jane Doe case, and we all thank you for your continued interest in covering this investigation. I'm going to be as transparent as I can be, but please understand that the information we're releasing today is what we can share at this point without compromising the integrity of the investigation. For this reason, we will not be answering additional questions at the conclusion of this press conference. 13 years ago today, on November 23rd, 2008, 3 hunters reported they had found the remains of a decomposed body on private property in a shallow creek on Skyline Drive in the town of Ashford in southeast Fond du Lac County. Investigators from our office, working in conjunction with the medical examiner's office, documented the scene, secured evidence, removed her body, and then began the in-depth process of trying to identify the woman we came to know as Jane Doe. In the weeks, months, and years following the discovery of Jane Doe, hundreds of missing persons files were reviewed, leads and tips were followed up on, and computer-generated facial and physical composites were shared with the public. However, our Jane Doe remained unidentified. She was finally laid to rest in the Cattaraugus Cemetery on December 7th, 2011. We've always remained optimistic that someday we would be able to identify Jane Doe, and that is why this case has continuously been assigned to detectives since the investigation began. In November of 2016, 2 of our detectives were given the opportunity to present this case to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children in Virginia. Based on that presentation, experts recommended that we exhume her body to collect bone, tooth, and hair samples in order to conduct new forms of forensic testing that did not exist back in 2008. Jane Doe was exhumed on April 26, 2018, and samples were collected and sent to numerous laboratories throughout the country that specialize in various forms of forensic analysis. In the months following her exhumation, detectives received the results from these forensic tests and used those results to compare to other known DNA profiles. Genealogy research, assisted by the national expert Barbara Ray Venter, provided investigators new leads that led to identifying individuals believed to be direct relation to Jane Doe, and DNA samples were collected from those potential family members in the hopes of confirming her identity. I'm pleased to announce that through the hard work and dedication of these detectives, as well as detectives who are now retired, their work to keep this investigation moving forward has resulted in the positive identification of Jane Doe as Amy Marie Yeary, date of birth 12/9/1989, of Rockford, Illinois. Amy would have been 18 years old when she died in 2008. She was positively identified using 3 different means: comparison of DNA from her mother, comparison of DNA from her sister, and a comparison of dental x-rays. While speaking with Amy's mother, detectives learned that in the late summer of 2008, Amy made a phone call to her mother and stated she was in Beloit and wanted a ride home. Her mother was living in northern Illinois at the time, but was unable to accommodate Amy's request due to some extenuating circumstances, and Amy was never heard from by her family again. While no official missing persons report was ever filed, Amy's family continued their own search, hoping to eventually make contact with her. On behalf of the Sheriff's Office, I want to express our heartfelt condolences to Amy's family and friends. As much as you've been wondering where Amy was, we've been wondering who Amy is. Identifying Amy Erie is a big step forward in this complex and ongoing investigation. However, there is still much work that needs to be done to determine how and why she lost her life. As advancements in DNA, genetic, and genealogy and forensic testing continue to evolve, we await results of additional tests currently being performed at forensic laboratories, and we are hopeful that new evidence can be identified. Investigators have also learned that, sadly, Amy was a victim of human sex trafficking. She was oftentimes transient, and detectives have learned that she spent time in Milwaukee, Chicago, and Beloit areas in the weeks preceding her death. As we continue our investigation, today we are asking for the public's help. If there was anyone who knew Amy Marie Erie, has knowledge surrounding her death, or knows how or why she ended up in southeast Fond du Lac County in 2008, in the late summer of 2008, we ask that you please come forward. Any information you have could be extremely helpful to our investigation. No matter how small or inconsequential you think your information may be, we ask that you contact us. You can contact Detective Ryan Murphy at 920-929-3380, or you can contact the Fond du Lac County Law Enforcement tip line at 920-906-4777 and leave an anonymous message. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone who has already provided us with information about this case. Thank you to the media for helping us share Amy's story with the public. I'd also like to thank the current and former detectives who have worked so hard on this case, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, who have been amazing partners with us, the various forensic laboratories who have and continue to conduct various forms of extensive testing, and the others who have assisted us over the years. Our hope is that with this collaborative effort, the public's assistance, we can determine what happened to Amy, bring justice in her memory, and answer the unanswered questions for her family and loved ones. I ask that you honor the wishes of Amy's family, who has requested that the media not contact them regarding this investigation. This concludes our press conference, and as we mentioned earlier, we will not be taking additional questions at this time. We do certainly hope to be able to share additional information in the future, and we will contact you at that time. Deputy Bowen will now hand out thumb drives containing the text of this press conference, as well as a digital photo of Amy's photograph here, and we thank you for your time today.